I always kind of had an ambition to run my own business, but never really found that killer idea. And so spent years, trying to develop different ideas, sat in the pub with friends, and it never got beyond the back of a fag packet type conversations. And it was ranged from being a florist through to running like an online dating website. This was in my single days. And yeah, I think it's all about timing. And I was in a job I didn't particularly like at the time, and I remember kind of a conversation with my mum, and she said to me, why don't you do what you know? Why don't you do what you do? And I'd never even considered it before. Mum's always right, as much as we try and fight it. And so yeah, it was that kind of it was a bit of a penny drop for me, and that was kind of the direction, and I've never looked back, and no regrets.
A few clients said to me, you could do this on your own. Why don't you do this on your own? And once that was in me, it wouldn't go away, and it was in the pit of my stomach then for a really long time. And there was quite a lot of fear in my stomach, because I thought, I've got a family, how am I going to provide? How can I possibly do this on my own? But I knew I could as well.
I kept saying to someone, I feel like maybe I want to blog or I want to podcast. There was this gap and I felt I needed to fill it. And I kept thinking, my life is bonkers, actually. I can remember, for example, one day getting this last minute piece of voiceover work. I had no one to look after Jemima but a builder. And I said, would you mind please looking after Jemima? And he did. And I remember just thinking, this is really bonkers. It's got to be worth blogging about or podcasting about. And I came to podcasting because I was a broadcaster. So it was this kind of like evolution of realising that Radio Bristol was no longer going to fit. This recognition that my life was now pretty bonkers. And at the time it felt unique because I didn't know anyone else in that world. And so thinking, right, if it doesn't exist, let's create it. Let's just create Freelance Mum and see if I can identify with others out there.
Dennis is a person with a lot of ideas. I also really enjoy creative and international projects, so we've just always been bouncing ideas off each other. This time it just clicked together, the concept of marketing and manufacturing coming together with this purpose to really communicate everything that we enjoy. It was...
Tick all the boxes.
It just came together after, it sort of bubbled and brewed, and yeah, eventually the concept was just perfect.
The first thoughts around setting up our own business was, if you remember, when we were at university, we did a module. You had to kind of set up a hypothetical business. And the one that we kind of went down the route for was a podcasting company. And it was just as the iPhone was coming out and Apple hadn't been cool for very long. After we'd kind of finished the module and it all worked quite well, we then thought, well, as we've worked together quite well now, we could probably work together after university and have a go at setting up a business. We hadn't decided maybe what we wanted to do at the time. The idea of kind of doing something off our own backs came probably around then, for me anyway.
Yeah, no, I'd say so. I think it's definitely towards the end of the university, just think about what I want to do afterwards, and kind of always felt like I wanted to try and run my own business, whether it was going to be straight away after uni or a few years down the line after getting some funding or doing this thing. But always felt like I wanted to at least give it a go.